Hello and welcome back to my walkthrough of the KSP career. My name's Root, and let's get cracking. Hold on to your ass, Fred, because this is a little bit fun right now. I have a craft. I've got it here in orbit, and right now I'm burning for Eve orbit. Now, I'm going to run through how to get to an Eve transfer. I'm just a little bit pressed for time right now. Got to try and keep this thing on the maneuver as best we can. Just keep an eye on that, because our orbit should start to change shortly. Seems like it's pretty stable. It's going okay, I'm thinking. Now, this is a very odd looking craft, I know, but it's aimed to do 4 things at once, hence why it's got 4 little thingies hanging off the side of it. I'm very keen to see if this is going to work. I haven't tried it, so yeah, you guys get to ride along as I experiment with this. Now, this burn has taken a fair bit longer than what I'd hoped it would. So let's just move our marker back to the prograde. Rid of that. Okay, because what we want to do is get this close now. Oh, we could go a little bit further, because we are aiming for Eve. And I'll talk you through what I've just done, but basically it's the same for Duna, except a little bit in reverse. So, when we go to Duna, okay, what are you doing? Please go away. When we burn for Duna, okay, we don't head this direction, we go that way, okay? So, because we're going down the gravity well, okay, we want to burn in the opposite direction, drop our periapsis, so that we get into an orbit here. When we're going up, we want to increase our periapsis, so we come out prograde rather than retrograde. Now, it's a little bit confusing, but it's all about your frame of reference. So we're away, and we've got the curb and escape. Now, you'll notice that I don't have any intersect markers, and there's a reason for that. That's because Eve is a little bit inclined. So I come here, okay, you can see that Eve sits a little bit below where Kerbin is, which is, you know, that's okay. We can deal with that. So we're going to make a plane change here at the DN. And basically just pull the normal up. You see our maneuver, or our nodes start to move. Just going to pull this back a little bit more. There's our close approach, there's our target. And booyah. So 410, that's going to be a total of 1500 or so, so not the nicest transfer, but it'll do the job, if you know what I mean. So what we need to do is we need to set an alarm. Set an alarm for the maneuver node at 1 minute, and we will focus in on our craft. We'll turn off the RCS so that we make sure we're not burning it, because that's actually going to be landing fuel. And yeah, so we've got 103 days until we hit the maneuver. We're going to head off into the deep blackness of space. Now, this is completely unmanned, this one. It's covered in solar panels though. Turn this back on so we can see what the heck we're doing. Oh, there goes Mimnus. Bye bye, Mimnus. There's the Kerbin system. There's the sun. So we're just about to cross the boundary. See the time warp slow down. Okay. We'll speed up again, and we'll aim for around here. So we've got 98 days until we get there. Off we go. So we've departed the Kerbin system, dropped out of that orbit, and we're dropping down to a lower one. Now Eve is very handy because Eve is very, very big. Well, it's not big, but it's heavy. So you get some awesome gravity effects off it. It also has a ridiculously thick atmosphere as well. Ooh, I'm panicking now. I may not have enough reaction control. Right. Slow down. Stop. We need to get to that maneuver very, very quickly. And here I am burning my fuel. Bugger. Okay, go away, you. We'll just continue to push this thing over. Thank heavens I packed RCS, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to control this. Okay. So we're ready to burn now. So what I could do, I could open all these bad boys up. We've got tons of delta V. We're good for delta V, you know. There's, you know, oodles. What I'm going to do is shift to the map view. I'm going to start to throttle up because remember, I had a bit of trouble because they're unbalanced. So that's the direction I need to go in. I wonder. Bloody hell. Gonna need that RCS. Oops. Hopefully I have fuel to do everything that I want to do. If I don't, I'm going to be very, very upset. So we'll just burn this node down. It's all because they're different weights, so they're causing a bit of a torque on there. There's not enough gimbal here to overcome that. I don't have enough control authority up here, so it would have been an idea to pack some different stuff. So let's have a quick look at the map. Probably get that close approach down a little bit more. Well, actually, if we... What we can do, right, is we'll turn off the RCS. So I want to save that as much as I can. Okay, there's our close approach. We just need to... Yeah, drop down. Really should have packed some reaction control, but oh well. Got a little time warp stopping one's momentum. Even counter, there we go. So there's 40,000, well 40 million, 30 million, 29 million, 20 million. You see what it's doing to my orbit. So what we'll do is we'll warp to the periapsis. I think that's probably a good spot, and then we can fine tune what we're going to do here. You can see how I'm going to loop around inside the planet and then pick it up out here. That's because it's a little bit in front of me, so I need to catch up. So what I'd like to do, okay, in one day, I'm going to make a maneuver and I'm going to do some stuff. You can see we're coming around on this side of the planet, which means that we're actually doing a little bit of a gravity assist, of all things. I want to come in. Right, and this is going to be rather finicky to get done. 400,000 looks good to me. It's going to be a relatively short burn as well. So what I'll do is I'll start moving there now. Because there's a little bit of up as well in this maneuver. So you see here, well, there's a little bit of normal, shall we say. So we've got to move in the up and down plane and the left right plane, not the forwards and backwards. That's probably not the most efficient thing to be doing. But 25.7 meters per second is going to be fine, and I am not actually going to worry about doing that in 1 day's time. I'm going to do it right now because I don't really need to wait. So, oh dear, come on, come on, come on, and get ready with the time warp. Got it, perfect. Right, go away, you. Should pop out the other side now. 100,000. I like it. I like it a lot. And what I'm going to do at the periapsis is perform a capture. I'm going to burn as hard as I can. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to drop a satellite here in orbit. I'm going to drop a lander that's going to get down into the atmosphere, and I'm going to send the remaining, the satellite for Gilly, the lander for Gilly, and also the transfer stage out to Gilly orbit to do that. So, forward we go. You can see we're getting quite a curve on our orbit, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's going to mean that we're gonna not have too much of a terrible time capturing. So let's warp here. So we've achieved the flyby. Okay, that's here. Flyby the Eve. So we'll jump back to the Space Center and see if there is another contract. Hopefully it's Orbit Eve. With some luck it will be. Plant flag on 8? Nope. Okay. I need to go looking. Plant a flag on Eve? No. Orbit Eve. Here it is. So we'll grab that, because that's the next thing we need to do. And once we've got that orbit, we can then land. Fly. Fly, my pretties. Well, let's get this one under control. So, you can see, that is very, very sharp. So I'd like to warp here. And what I'm going to do is add a maneuver. The reason I'm... oh, look at that. That's nothing. It's going to be very, very nice, actually. Go. What I'm doing right now, okay, is I'm trying to make it so that, well, that's not very good, is it? I'm trying to make it so that on my transfer, okay, on my capture right now, I also also get a encounter with Gilly. That's much better. 137. So eventually, 8 days. That's an 8-day or 16-day round trip. So that's not ideal, but it'll do the job. Now what I need to do is get this maneuver done. What this means is I'm going to eventually have an encounter with Gilly. And that's a good thing because it saves me fuel. I'm not going to go out and have to hunt for it. So I'm maintaining some of the momentum that I have heading in. With the satellite, when I drop it, I'm just going to get it to circularize its orbit. And with the lander, it has a heat shield, so I'm just going to punch it into the atmosphere and hope for the best. Okay, we're nearly there, we're nearly there, we're nearly there. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit. The burn isn't going to take very long, so what I'll do is I'll set an alarm 1 minute before, off we go. Actually now would be a good time to have a look at this. How nice is that? Eve there in the background, our funky exploration craft in the foreground. It's cool, really. We've still got a bit of time left. Time to find a good screenshot. That's what I reckon. Oh, how good is that? That's what I'm waiting for. Rightio. Whoops, not you. You. F2. So we're nearly there. Let this slow us down. So I'll probably need to start now. Even though I'm a minute out, I can't burn very fast. Tilting. Tilting. Tilt. Okay, RCS. Help. I love the new engine lighting effects that I've added to the game. Alright, there's an orbit. Nope, that's not an orbit. I thought it was an orbit, but it's not. It lied. It lied to me. Okay. There we go. So that's that. What I'd like to do right now is... Where are you? Well, the lander can hang around for a moment. The satellite... do we want to? Yeah, I'm thinking we have achieved the mission, so... This here is the Eve satellite. Nice. Transmit that back. Boom. Happy with that. What else have we got in here? We've got temperature. Transmit that back as well. And what I'd like to do... What I want to do is ditch that one now. Nah, I'm going to hang on to them. Reason being is when we get out here, that's when I'm going to ditch them. Well, hold on. This one needs to do its own thing anyway. So I'm going to control from here. Okay, here we go. Yes, let's back her up. Okay. Point prograde, or retrograde rather. Nope, that's not going to work. There we go. Oh look, we have a little orbital thingy. And basically, all we need to do now is bring this thing's orbit down to something reasonable. So I'm thinking like 150 by 200 should be alright. Gotta hold my finger on here though. Turn off the engine. Now I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll leave it with 20 fuel. So whatever I get to right now, I'm going to leave 20 fuel. Because that should allow me to then, if I need to, use the atmosphere and do funky stuff like that. I may not need it though. This is going to give us a permanent presence around Eve. And actually that, we're getting a little bit far away from the periapsis here. So what I'll do is I'll add a maneuver here to get that to 150. Okay, we're going to add, we're going to go here, right? Because I want to rename this for a moment. I want to rename this the Eve Satellite. EveSat. Love it. Turn off RCS. Need to save that as much as we can. Wonderful. I reckon that's going to be the first thing that we do. Because the Eve mission is off over here. So we'll switch to it. There's the Eve lander, right? The Eve lander I'm going to ditch up here at the apoapsis. Okay. And then everything else is just going to continue to orbit until we can meet up with Gilly. Now, well, that's 8 days away. Add, we need the Eve lander deployment. Okay, add. Right, let's switch back to the EveSat because that's where all the action is going to be. Oh, I'm forgetting something right now. I'm getting too carried away. I need to check for the mission. I hope it's not return to Kerbin, because that would suck. Plant a flag on Eve? No. Plant a flag on the moon? That's interesting. Science data from the surface of Eve, I plan to. Orbit of Ike? No. Nope. Nope. Complete the Mun 3 course. Really? Science data from science... Nope. 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 Come on. Surely it's here somewhere. I thought that might be the case. So we're not going to accept that. I'm just going to continue on with this and show you how to do it. EveSat? Yep, this is the one I want. Because we need to adjust our orbit now. Let's add EveSat at that. Off that goes. Around we come. There we go. Oh, nice. So I can get the high science there. Apparently the other one was good enough for low science. Delete you. Log it again. Nope, we can't do anything. Right. Observe. And transmit. want to check. Okay, 1.3 science. That's not happening. Rightio. But I don't think this is going to work. Oh. Apparently it will. Excellent. We'll take that. Quite a little bountiful mission right now. So, RCS on. We'll just hit the H key. Go, perfect. Now that's in 4 hours, so what we could do is just warp to about here. Watch the planet come flying up again at us. Hopefully I don't get down into the atmosphere. That could be one way of finding out where the atmosphere starts. Fly into it. Okie dokie. Get pointed in the right direction. Up to here. Please don't start dropping. That's all I can say. You can see our orbital velocity, how high it is. That's part of the problem of Eve. You need to be going pretty freaking quick. Okay. Let's have a look here. We've got 49 seconds until we hit it. And basically what we're going to be doing is taking full advantage of the O-berth effect and getting what we can from the planet. Oop. Okay, let's burn this down to say, I don't know, 15. Yeah, let's do 15, that'll do. I don't particularly want to stick it in the atmosphere. I feel like that would end badly. Just keep it on the retrograde, make sure that we're most efficient. Got another couple to go. 17, 16, 15. Excellent. I'm happy with that. So that's that. So we'll switch back to the main mission now. And we're going to deploy our lander. Now, where are we? We're there. We've still got a few more days until we get out there. Right, well we're pretty much there now. I can deploy my lander. And what the lander's going to do is just get itself down to say, oh, what would be a good number? I don't know. 100 maybe? Maybe I should check that. And this is where the KSP Wikipedia becomes very, very handy. If you don't have it, go get it. You just look it up. So if I go to Eve, it'll tell me a certain few things about the planet. So the atmospheric height, it starts at 90,000. So I think that 40,000. Oh, hold on. I think that 70,000 might be a good number there. So that's what we're going to aim for. So what I would like to do, okay, is turn on. Whoops, you go away. I want retrograde. 70,000. Now I'm going to do this with the main stage, because what that's going to enable me to do, 60. Okay, that's fine. What this is going to enable me to do, right, is I can go right click on this, turn off RCS, right click on this, right click on this, okay, double check, that's my lander, out. Okay, I'm going to completely strip it of fuel so that I've got more in my other two craft. I'm going to deploy. I'm going to control from here, firstly. Control from here. And then I'm going to decouple. Right. Now this has no fuel, but that's okay. Now if I flip around and face this direction, that should be right. Now this is going to require some fancy flying. Basically it's going to go into the atmosphere like that, and then after we get through the shock effects, we open up the doors and pull the chutes. Hopefully it works. And I'm hoping that those two parachutes will have enough go-go to pull us up, basically. So if I spin around now, turn the RCS back on. Actually, hold on. No. Stop. Stop. I want to jettison this as well. I want to activate the staging. There we go. Reason being, okay, that's going to re-enter with that now. So we need to see if we can spin this bad boy around. We've ditched a fair bit of weight now, so this should be a little bit more manageable for maneuvers. Oops, there it was. So what I need to do is just lift that periapsis back up a little bit more, as we are fully in the atmosphere right now. Whoops, hold on. I haven't got the engine activated. Here we go. 70, 80, 90. Where does it start? 90,000. So at 106, that's okay. And we can start playing around with this orbit to get an encounter with Gilly. So that's that. I want to flip back to my lander if I can. Can I? No, yes, maybe. Whoa, 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 what on earth are you doing, game? No, we're not warping to any ANs. Oh dear. We're close. We're nearly there. Okay, it's okay. Right, excellent. I want to rename this the Eve Lander. Okay, done. Now I need to set up a time. Right. And this is going to be the Eve Lander Atmo interface. Right. So that's okay. The Eve mission is going to continue on. Well, actually, I don't even need this. I don't need this either, because I'm going to ride this in. And this is going to be the last thing we do in this episode. And the next one we're going to go tackle Gilly. Because Gilly's going to take a little bit of finesse. What I should be doing is doing it like this. Warp here. Because I have a tendency to warp through atmospheres. Now, what's the worst that could happen here? The worst that could happen is we don't actually get pulled down and in. Well, that would actually be the best that could happen, because that'll just, we'll aero brake a couple of times and land pretty softly. If we get pulled in too deep, that could be problematic. Let's get pointed roughly the right direction. I'm going to fly down, and we're actually going to hit it on the dark side of the planet. Keep going. 300, 200, 1,000. Keep the orientation. This is going to be a white knuckle ride. Wonderful. Alright, here we go. We're about to hit atmosphere. F5 for safety. I'm not normally the quick load, quick save kind of guy. But, you know, whatever. Whoa, see that? Yikes, we've already got heating effects. We're going to lose these. Oh, we've gone a bit deep, I'm thinking. This could be interesting. This could be very, very interesting. Hopefully we come out the other side. We're bleeding speed very quickly. The ablator is ablating. The SAS is max yaw right now. I hope we don't tumble. I'm worried to touch anything. I don't want to touch anything just in case I break it. I'm not touching anything. I can't. I want to touch the keyboard, but I don't want to break it, so I'm just going to let it go. We're riding this sucker in. It seems pretty stable, actually. Looks like we're going to have tons of ablator, which is excellent. We're at 55,000. Slowly, well, actually quite rapidly actually descending. Oh dear. I think we'll make it. As long as the thing doesn't tip. I think we'll make it. So we need to get down through the shock effects. Okay, through the shock effects. And then we're going to pop the bay doors and pull the chutes. You can see that it's quite thick. The atmosphere is incredibly thick. We've got heating effects at 1400 meters per second. Normally you're well and truly out of them by now on Kerbin, but this atmosphere is hardcore. And we kind of gave it a pretty solid wrap over the nose. Still got the heating effects. Thank God I brought a big heat shield. Damn. Ah, there we go. So we're pretty much there. Shock effects. Okay, pop the bay doors. Wow, see that increase in drag? How far up are we? 27,000? What's our battery situation? Okay. So here's a tip for you, right? Hold that and lock it, so that what happens is you have an emergency supply if you forget to extend your solar panels. I'm actually pretty happy about this right now. So this has worked magnificently well. We'll just float down now and see that we're still slowing down. Wow. We're doing 100 meters a second. I must admit, I haven't been to Eve under the new arrow, so you can see what's happening right now. We are going very, very slowly. And still slowing. I wonder if we'll stall. We can't really stall because we're ballistic. We don't have a wing. Maybe we could get some side slip happening. Looks like we're going to come down in water. Ooh, I should be doing this kind of stuff. Explodium. Oh, I need to pop the chutes. Oh, I didn't see that. Wow, lucky. I completely zoned there. Anyway, we've got the chutes out. So let's review the data and transmit it back to Kerbin. Review the data, transmit back. So we have enough power generation here. And then when we land, we'll be able to get a barometer display at landed and also thermometer. Actually, you have pretty warm. Let's just speed up things a little bit because we're moving at 2 meters per second. So my hunch of having 2 parachutes for this side craft has paid off really nicely. We're going to have a real gentle touchdown, which is going to be very, very nice. And this is going to be the Eve landing completed. And in the next episode, we'll do the ghillie one. So that shouldn't be... The thing about ghillie is it's almost like docking. Ghillie's atmosphere is so ridiculously low. There we go, we've landed. Outstanding. So we'll log the pressure data, transmit the pressure data, log the temperature data, transmit the temperature data. And that is the Explore Eve contract completed. Thank you very much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing you when we go and conquer Ike in the next episode.